Hi and welcome to this week's MyMarketology lab. In this week's lab, I'll be showing you how quick and easy it is to create your own chatbot for Facebook Messenger. In case you haven't met me before, I'm Tony and I'm the head marketologist. Now you've probably noticed the increasing number of articles and videos that are being published mentioning the effectiveness and the efficiencies of chatbots and the fact that they're a growing trend for their adoption to support marketing, sales and customer service functions. There doesn't seem to be any industry that isn't being affected by them. Now, we've had a few conversations with our users recently about chatbots and how you get started with them. So in this week's lab, I'm going to show you how you can build your first one quickly and easily without the need to know how to code. When it comes to chatbot platforms and software, you've got the usual options. So you can either pay or you can go down a free route. Now, if you're just getting started or you just want to experiment to see the potential benefits of actually using them, then there's no reason to start paying for access to complicated platforms. So for this experiment, we're going to use the free account option from a company called motion.ai. And that's their website on page. The link to the website is in the description below. Now you can create up to 2 bots on the free account with Motion AI, and you can send 1,000 messages a month completely free of charge. It's a great way to take your first steps into chatbot development. The platform offers you a drag and drop bot builder, which you can see in action in that little animation there. So you don't even need to know how to actually code. It makes building chatbots quite easy, but there is one obstacle in the way. You need to have already planned out a number of things. You need to know what questions your users are likely to ask, the different reactions that you want your chatbot to make when replying to these questions, and also how you're actually going to deal with those questions. So just like any other strategy in digital marketing, you need to have some goals and objectives created, and you need to have laid a little bit of groundwork before you get to the actual fun part of building that chatbot. Now, for the purposes of this tutorial, and to keep the video as short as I can, I've decided to create a customer service bot that will sit on our MyMarketology Facebook Messenger. Now, if you want to try it out after watching this lab, then feel free to go to our Facebook page and send a message. Now, this is a sketch that I made to plan the flow out. As you can see, not very tidy, my usual messy handwriting there. But basically, it's just a flow, just to give me a rough idea on structure and what I want to do with my chatbot. So I've got a welcome message. I've then got the 3 main types of questions that we receive, usually through our Facebook Messenger service. So it's usually about accounts and billing. It could be problems with the viewing content, or it could be some other issues there. And then we've also got a contact us page as well. And then we've got things like, have you paid for Pro membership? Would you like to upgrade to Pro membership? And also a version here of a data capture, which sends an email straight through from Facebook Messenger, straight through to the email address that we give it, and then we can collect some information and submit tickets. So it's quite a sort of customer servicey type thing. It's not very complicated, it's not very involved, it's not going to answer all the questions that we're going to get asked. But basically I've done it, and this took me about an hour to pencil out once I'd thought it sort of from front to back. If you're going to go and do this properly though, so that your bot can answer as many questions as possible, then you're going to need to spend some time in this sort of early development stage as well. Now, what I've also done is, regarding those questions, I've actually created a spreadsheet with each of those stages that I've just mentioned, so welcome, and then accounts, problems, contact us, paid for Pro, upgrade to Pro. I've put in some pre-filled text here, which will make a little bit more sense when we actually get into the build itself. But basically, it's the questions that I'm asking the user to then get some response back. I've also got some likely questions that they may be asking on these pages as well. So as you can see here under the welcome page, I've got welcome to MyMarketology, my name is Susan, a little bit of text that will make sense shortly, and then how can I help you? So for accounts and billing, the people that are asking us questions about that might be using words such as account, billing, payment, pay. As I say, this is just a very quick brainstorm. There'll be literally probably hundreds of keywords we can use under each of these. Under problems, I've got the keywords problem, issue, can't find, can't view, and profile. And then under contact, I've got contact expert, marketologist, advice, Tony, tips and support. Again, the reason why we're looking at the keywords here will make sense very shortly. I've also on this spreadsheet got where I'd like to link through to answer these questions that person's asking, and then some quick replies and fallback again, which will make sense to you very soon. So I've already set up my free account with Motion AI, but as I mentioned earlier, you need to do a little bit of groundwork first. So you might want to also consider working alongside your other colleagues in marketing, in sales, in customer service. So that way your bot could solve problems and even potentially make sales for you for nearly every single person that comes into contact with it. Now, it's not just a case of being able to use these chatbots on Messenger, there are other options too. So let me get onto Motion AI and show you what I mean. So that's the home page. I've already logged in, and when you log in it takes you through to a dashboard, and as you can see where I've been sort of messing around with it today, we've got a bot created. You can see how many messages I've got left as well. If you want to follow along with this and the actual build and learning how to use Motion AI to some degree, I'm by far any sort of expert on it. I've only been playing around with the system for a few hours now. But yeah, certainly, set up a free account, pause the video here, get that done, use the link that I've just popped up on screen there for you as well, to go through to Motion AI to set up that account. You don't need to worry, it's not an affiliate link. We don't get any money from you clicking through and using this platform. I'm only using this one because for my purposes it's free, and I've found that it's quite easy to use. The other platforms out there all work in a similar way, whether you're paying for them or not. As I say, we've got no affiliation with this brand at all. It's just a case of I found it easy to use, so I wanted to show you something that might be a good starter anyway. So what we need to do is actually go onto our bots first of all. And as you can see, I've actually got one that's already set up here that I've already experimented with that is currently sitting on our page. But what we'll do is we'll create a new one. And to do that, we need to click on Create Bot. Now, as you can see here, this is where you choose where your bot's actually going to be located. For this lab, as I mentioned, I've got to choose the Facebook Messenger option, but you can see the other options available here as well. So it could be web-based, it could be SMS, it could be Slack, it could be an email bot, other APIs and Smooch as well. And then it asks me which page I want to put this on. So what I'll do is I'll put it on the MyMarketology page. And then next it asks us what kind of bot we want to build. Now we can build up from a blank canvas, or we can use some of the preset templates. We've got a restaurant bot, we've got a survey bot, a scheduling bot, a trivia bot, resume, CV, a customer service one even, and more. And then there's even more options to choose from if you click on the view more. So it brings up those that you've already seen. You can even submit a template as well if you want to do, and then you can see some other companies that have been using these as well. So going back to that then, we're going to create from a blank bot. So we'll click on the blank bot option, and we know it's going into Facebook Messenger on the MyMarketology page. So we need to give it a name. So usual naming conventions for any drag and drop editor. So what we'll call this is the MyMarketology Customer Service Bot. And we create it. And this then drags us into the editor that we've got. Now let me just zoom that down for a moment. So we've got some details already in place here. We're not wanting to use those, so for now we can get rid of all the additional boxes that we've got showing in this template here. So we'll just remove all those. We'll keep the welcome one because obviously we're going to use that as the first stage of my plan of action that I'd penciled out on that piece of paper in quite a scruffy way. So we'll just move those, and we move those. Rightio, so we'll go back to the top. So now there's quite a few options you can see on the screen here. For now you can ignore everything down the left hand side because we're basically where we want to be here. Now we've got an add module option, and this is where we get the basic building blocks. So as you can see, we've got a bot statement, we've got a Node.js, we've got multiple choice, yes or no, Bing web search, email collection, get name, quite a few options to use for building these here flows for the chatbot. For now, we don't need to concentrate on those too much. We can also see the current modules that we've got created. So at the moment we've only got the one, and it's a multiple choice one. We can test that bot, and it shows you in the little canvas here exactly what that user's going to see when the chatbot works. And then we've got an NLP engine here where we can start actually putting our own intents in as well. Again, it's a little bit more involved than we need to do just to set up an experiment. So we'll go back to a completely blank canvas now. And first of all, we need to add a statement in for our welcome message. So we drag it and drop it literally across there, and it gives us a new option here. So first of all, reading through, you can see this is an initial response, and this is what that user's going to see on the chat bubble. So this is what your bot will say upon reaching this module. So what we need to say here is what I've already put in my section. So here you can see exactly why it's a good idea to prepare the actual responses that you're wanting to go through, and any answers to questions that you're likely to get, because then all we need to do is just copy and paste them across into here. Now there's a reason why I've put this little bit of code here, and if you're wondering why, you can use formatting options. It'll take you through to a web page that'll show you the little snippets of code that actually work and do slightly different things when the chatbot works. So what I'll do is, for now, I'll just leave that in so we can see, welcome to MyMarketology, my name is Susan, how can I help you? So we'll save those changes, and then what we can do is under here we can go back into edit. We can actually test this module, which shows us in the canvas here how it's working. So what we'll do is we'll click on that, and as you can see, welcome to MyMarketology, my name is Susan. And then that second chat bubble opened up. How can I help you? And the reason that happened was because of this little piece of code here. Now, if we remove that section there, the hyphen and then 1,000, and just leave it as next between two sets of colons, what it'll do is it'll just open up a new chat bubble. If we actually remove that, and then save that, and then reload this canvas, you'll see that it actually comes through in one line now. So welcome to MyMarketology, my name is Susan, how can I help you? It's just a nice way of adding just a little bit of extra sort of something to the chatbot questions itself. So if we reload that now, you can see it says my name is Susan, a little bit of a gap, and how can I help you? So we've actually got our welcome set up now. Now what we need to do is go back into our flow. So we've got that section set up. What we need now are a way of branching off to answer questions for accounts, for problems, and for contacts, which is why when I move across slowly, you can see that I've put a link to. So this links to another module in this flow. So the next one we need to add is a find issue account, a find issue problem, and a contact an expert confirmation. So 3 new boxes underneath that, and that would also tie in with my image here. So we've got accounts, we've got problems, and we've got contact. So let's go back into motion AI, and we'll add those in. And again, it's just as easy for this stage of just including bot statements. So for this one, we're going to again go back in here. We're going to copy that text that I've put in for the account problems. And again, a little bit of preparation to start with makes this job a whole lot quicker. So in this section for the accounts, we're going to have some pre-filled text that says, I will be happy for you to speak to one of our account managers for your security and data protection. Please answer the next few questions so that our account managers can contact you. So we add that. Now, what we've also got here are some connections and some settings. Now, if we click on connections, we can see that we can add a few different things. So if we click on add connection, we can have if the human's response to this module contains or doesn't contain. We've got drop down options here. So for our purposes, we're just using matched keywords, and then we can put the keywords in here, and then it says take them to a new module. So if we go back to our welcome, we need to link through to this. Sorry, first of all, what we need to do is actually name it so we know what the boxes are, and that's as easy as going into the top section there and then saving those changes. And then we'll do the same with this one just so we don't get confused. And we call this the find issue contacts, and we'll save that. What we'll do is we'll just create those other boxes first of all, and then we can make this process a little bit quicker. So we've got find issue problems, and then we need a third in there for the contact us section. So we'll just give that a quick name. Contact an expert. So we've now got those 3 layers in place, but we need to link them through to our welcome first of all. To do that, we now use connections. So first of all, in connections, we need to add one, and we need to say that if someone mentions accounts, billing, payment or pay, that they will go through to the accounts page. So let's add those in. So if the user uses the words account, billing, payment or pay, or some derivatives, because there is some semantic understanding in here as well, it will then take them through, then go to, and we've got that one there, which doesn't want to be contact, it needs to be account. Hopefully you'll notice me making that mistake. Okay, so what we can do now is we'll preview the welcome, and we'll now put something in. How can I help? So let's have a look. If we type payment in, it thinks about it, and then as you can see, it's taken us through to this section here. So now what we need to do is make sure that the text matches exactly what we need it to say. So find issue account, this is our text. We'll copy that in. We then save that, and now we'll reload, and it'll take us back to the welcome. So we've tried that same question again. And there we go. So I'll be happy for you to speak to one of our account managers for your security and data protection. Please answer the next few short questions so that account managers can contact you. There's a lot of text in there. Somebody might sort of lose the intent of this. It's not very, very clear, and it's not very chatty. So what we need to do is maybe break up, as we did in this section here, these 2 sentences with a little bit of a gap, and maybe add a new bubble in. So to do that, if you remember, we find where we want that break to be. And then we'll add 2 colons, type in next, and then 2 colons. And we save that. Now if we reload that. So as you're making it through, what you'll need to do is just keep testing that everything's going the way it should do. So let's try a slightly different search, but we've still got the keyword in there. And as you can see now, I'd be happy for to speak to one of our account managers for security and data protection. Please answer the next few questions so that our account managers can contact you. Now they popped up at the same time, so if we're just going to be really, really picky about it, we can then put in the hyphen and then a gap. The number, sorry. That number is a gap in milliseconds, so it's going to wait 1,000 milliseconds before it moves on to the next card. So next, chat bubble is there, but it's going to leave a bit of a delay before it does it. So one last reload, and we'll make sure that this looks good. So payment, back to payment, and as you can see, all nice and tidy. So that's the first one done. Now what we need to do is go back into our problems. So first of all, we need to make sure that if somebody uses the word problems, that they go through to the correct page. So we add a new connection. So if this human's response to this module contains these keywords, then go to, and then we choose that problem module. So all we need to do now is copy and paste our keywords across. So for this, I've used words such as problem, issue, can't find, can't view, profile. So these are all certain keywords that we'd usually find with people who are experiencing issues on the platform itself. So let's paste those in. So we've got problem, issue, can't find, can't view, and profile. So we can save that, and then let's give it a try. So I'm having a problem. So as you can see, it's moved across here, highlighted that box, and then given us this is what your bot will say upon reaching this module. So let's edit that text. And again, you'll feel that you're getting into a routine once you've done this for a couple of modules. So let's update that. Let's reload. And let's type in the word issue this time. So there we go. So we've got a nice little bit of text. Thank you, I can definitely help you with that. What's the issue that you're having? So for now, we'll just leave it at that. We don't want to add any more branches in yet, but we'll build up the contact an expert. So again, we need to go back to welcome because we need to branch it through. We need to add a new connection because at the moment we've got the accounts, we've got the problems. We now need to add the contact an expert. And again, we just copy the keywords in that we've already created that we know are going to be relative and relevant to the questions that people are asking about the contact us. So again, you could put sentences in. There's no reason to do that. Just use the certain keywords that keep popping up for those topics. Use those. It doesn't matter what the person types in then. If it's involving any of these words, then that will take them straight through to the page that you've set. So we'll save that. And let's try this one more time just for this first level of branching. So how can I help you? Contact. And it could be contact marketology, contact a marketologist. You get the idea. So again, it's showing us that it's working fine. We just need to cut and paste the text in there. So again, we've got this. Please answer the next few questions to contact our team of expert marketologists. So we copy that in. We'll not test it again this time. We know that's going to work. Now, you may have noticed we've got three definite branches here. The three most common types of queries that we have coming through on Facebook Messenger. So what we can actually add to the welcome is a quick query button rather than the person having to type in a response. So I'll show you how to do that. And it's as easy as going to quick replies. And then what we'll type in here is a few more sort of quick links. So what we'll need is accounts and billing first of all. We separate with a comma. We've then got I'm having a problem. And then we also need to contact an expert. Now if we save those changes, it doesn't look as if we've done much there, and you may be wondering what are these quick replies about. But if we reload this now, you'll actually see that we've got three quick link options under the chat bubble. So it makes it a lot easier for us to lead people through and for the chatbot to know what people are wanting without us having to rely on what they're typing into the say something box. So you'll see if we click on accounts and billing, it takes us through to that response there. And if we reload and we do the same, I'm having a problem, and it links through to the problem page. And one last go, and the contact an expert takes us through to the contact an expert page. So we've already done our first layer of the chatbot now. We've got welcome, we've got accounts, we've got problems, and we've got contact. Now what we need to do is take it one by one and work out the logic that we need for accounts. So as you can see in the account section here, I've linked it straight across to collect the person's name, collect an email address, submit a ticket, and a confirmation. So we need to take from accounts straight through to this section here. So what we'll do first of all is build up this collect a name, collect an email, submit a ticket, and a confirmation, because we're going to be using that again, as you can see, when we get much further down the floor and somebody still has a problem, then we'll stop the chatbot being involved. We'll get them to contact us directly. So collect a name, collect email, submit ticket, and confirmation flow. So let's do that now. And again, this is quite a straightforward process. You can easily navigate around this section here. So for collect a name, what we need to do is use another bot statement on this section here. So let's add that under contact an expert, because nobody's going to go anywhere else after that. And we need to have this as a collect name. So we've named it. We then need to put our text in here. And if you scroll down here, we've got a collector name. So please tell me your name. Quite straightforward, nothing too complicated. and then this is going to branch off somewhere else under connections. But at this point in time, we don't have those pages, those modules created. We've only got the existing ones. So for now, we'll just leave it as it is. So we've got a collect name box. We now need to collect an email. Now to do that, we need to use a different box because this we actually need to store. And what we're going to do is use email collection for this. And again, we give it a name, collect email. We need to put in the copy that we need, and I've already created this, so once you've got used to how this system works, how the modules work, you can actually pencil your chatbot out very quickly actually. So that we can reply, what is your email address? Again, that needs to link through to the next option, but for now we'll leave it as it is, because again we've not got that module set up. So we save the changes. And we then need to move on, so we're going to submit a ticket. And as you can see, if we go back to my sketch, we need to submit the ticket. So this is going to be a confirmation and a submission. To do that, we need to actually use a send email box. And that's the bottom option there. So send an email. So again, we drag it underneath and we'll call this submit ticket. We then use our copy again that we've created before. As you can see on this one, I've used that next to create the second chat bubble. So it'll say thank you, new chat bubble, please give us some more details about your query. And we save those changes. And then the final thing we need to add at the bottom of there is just a confirmation to say thank you. So we'll do that now. Just a normal statement. We'll call this confirmation. We cut and paste our text in. So confirmation, thank you, will be in touch soon. And there we go. So as you can see now, we've got some warnings here. And if we hover over these, it tells me that the module has no connections, are currently a dead end. So we need to join up those dots. So contact an expert. That is going to lead to collect a name. So let's connect them. We use connections. We use the fallback option. And then we use collect a name. Now there's a reason why I've not used keywords in this section here, and that's because what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use immediately go to next module without accepting user input, because if you remember when we set the contact an expert up, please answer the next few questions to contact our team of expert marketologists. We don't want to put for them to submit anything in this section because it might confuse things. So we're going to just move them immediately through using this option here. Immediately go to next module without accepting user input. So now if we rerun that and reload that option, you'll see that it takes them straight through to collect a name. Now if we do want them to input something here, so we don't want to immediately move them, what we need to do is move them to collect email. So they're putting the name in, and then if we replay and reload from contact an expert, please answer the next few questions, please tell me your name. I'll put my name in and then press send. And then it moves us on to collect an email, so that we can reply, what's your email address? So we want an input here as well. It's an email collection one anyway. So what we need to do is, again, we don't need to add any connections because it's already going to take the input for us, and then we need to move them on to submit ticket, which is the next stage. And then finally we connect submit ticket up to confirmation. And again, we don't need to add anything here because we're not looking for them to do anything. All we're going to do is record what they're actually putting in, and all we need to do here is go to confirmation and we're done. So now we've only got one warning down this whole track. We've got confirmation and it has no connections and is currently a dead end, which is absolutely fine because we just want that confirmation to go out when somebody submitted this information. We don't want them to go anywhere else after that through the chatbot. So we've now got a full flow, and as we've gone through you can see that it's been working as we've gone through. So that's that first track done. So now when we look at this flow, we've actually come quite a way. we've created the welcome, we've created the 3 common questions that we're likely to get, and then started creating tracks for them. We've also gone down the contact route, collect a name, collect an email address, submit a ticket and a confirmation. We still need to tie up accounts through to the collector name for when people are having queries, and we can't deal with them through the chatbot for data security and that sort of thing. That was our main comment here. As you can see, we're not connected up yet, so we need to connect this up to, let me just move it across slightly and we'll get rid of that for you. So we need to move from here, because if we view it, I'll be happy to speak to one of our account managers for your security and data protection. Please answer the next few short questions so that our account managers can contact you. So that's exactly the same type of language I used for contact an expert. And to do this, all I need to do is connect this up with the collector name. And what you'll see now is that that link goes across, and then once they've gone across through there, they then continue through that flow as we've already created. So we've got 2 different purposes, but they're going through the same process at the end, and that builds it up very, very, very quickly. Now, the middle section, the problem, this is where we can actually help people with a few of the general queries quite quickly. Obviously, for accounts, we don't want to deal with that on a chatbot for security purposes. Contact us. Again, that's just a straightforward flow. It is, I want to contact you. How do I do that? I'll give you my name, my email address. I'll submit that, and then I'll get a confirmation to say thank you. And then we receive an email at our side to say that somebody's been in touch on Messenger. This one's slightly more involved. And as you can see on the process flow that I created, it is a little bit more involved. Most of the problems or questions that we have, because again, problems doesn't necessarily mean issues, but for us it's sort of a good way of describing that somebody's having some sort of obstacle in their way. So most issues are when people can't access certain courses that they're wanting to, and usually it's because they're a free account holder and they're not actually paid to upgrade to get the full access to all of our courses. So that's usually the first obstacle in our way. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask them if they've actually paid for the Pro membership. If they haven't, then what we'll ask them to do is, well, would you like to upgrade to the Pro? And if you do, what I'll do is I'll then take you through to the website. Once you've done that, I'll then ask, did we help? If we did help, the issue is resolved. If we didn't, then you're still having some problems we can't solve through the chatbot, and then I'll take you back through that contact us section. It's quite a straightforward way, as I say, of just making it a circular thing, a circular journey. The chatbot's there helping in its most basic form right now, because as I say, this is just a very, very quick brainstormed idea of how a chatbot could work for us. Over the next few weeks, we're going to add to this and we're really going to build it up. But this is quite a basic process. And then back to this, so have you paid for Pro membership? If you have and you're still having issues, we'll take you through to the accounts, and then that'll take you back through. So nice little loop there. And if you've paid for Pro, would you like to upgrade? No, that's absolutely fine. If you don't want to upgrade, then did I help? If I did, yes. If no, contact us. So quite a nice flow. So something maybe some customer service teams would benefit from as well. But for this, we're actually going to automate it through the bot. So next page we need under Find Issues is have you paid for the Pro membership? Now for this, we're actually going to use a yes or no, because it is a yes or no question. The answer is going to be a definite yes or a definite no. However, what we also have on is also if somebody indicates that it might be maybe or they're unsure, we can also send them somewhere different as well. So although it's a yes no, we've got yes no and a maybe as well. So first of all, we need to get our titles in and our copyright. So first of all, have you paid for Pro? And again, these are just internal titles. The users on the other side aren't going to see them, so it's just good for memory jogging. So we need to go to our paid for Pro copy that I've created. We'll paste that in. As you can see, I'm using that delay there. This time only a 500 millisecond gap just to give it a little bit of a breathing space. And then what we'll do is we'll just create that. So at the moment it's not joined up. So from issues and problems, we need to edit this now and we need to connect it through. We'll need probably some keywords here. But for this point in time, what we'll do is we'll just link it straight through to paid for Pro, and it's the last one there, so we'll add that on. So let's have a quick look, see how it's working. So again, we'll just highlight it and use it from here. So what's the issue that you're having? So at the moment, it could be can't view videos. And now we've got a question. I'm sorry to hear that. Have you paid for Pro membership? So, okie doke. That's working quite well. What we need to do really is add some more queries in here. So, let's go back to the Find an Issue problem page. And I've got a set of keywords here. So, can't, doesn't, isn't, couldn't. It's quite negative language, but these are the types of problems and issues that people might be typing in. So I can't see the videos, I can't find my logins, I can't access this course, or the doesn't might be my password doesn't work, the videos don't work, that type of thing. So again, that type of language. So we'll cut and paste these in as the first protocol. So let's edit this issue and problem. And connections. So we need to add connections. So if the human's response to this module contains these words, but they're not the end of it. We also need to look at some other words that people might be using. So it could be can't view videos. What we need to do though is separate them up. If we put all these keywords in here and put videos in, even if somebody types in I like the video, it's going to take them through to this page that we choose. So what we need to do is use an and. So it's going to use this language, but it's also going to mention these here. So I can't view, see, watch, find, or access. I couldn't view, see, watch, find, access. So you can see how we're building up a little bit of logic here now. So we'll copy those in. And then I've put a third set in as well, as you can see here. So it could be videos, films, animations, content, course, and courses. If I put them all in by themselves, even the positive things and things that people are having issues with, it might take them through to this box. So we've now got I can't view the video, I can't see the videos, films doesn't work, that sort of thing, couldn't view animations, and you can see how these language are building up. So we'll leave it for there for now. As I say, this is where the real sort of foundational work and all that time and effort that you might need to put in to answer everyone's queries is going to sort of pay off. But for now, we're keeping it as straightforward as you can, just for ease of use. So let's run this through again. And then, so can't see video. And we get the message up here. Oh, many apologies, that's because I've not connected it through. If you ever get any issues like that, you'll see exactly why. So we've got welcome. We don't want to be in welcome. We need to be in paid for pro. So keep an eye on that. And again, it's always worth just testing it before you put it live. So let's just reload. So what's the issue that you're having? Can't see video. I'm sorry to hear that. Have you paid for pro membership? Now we've not filled this in yet because we need to build up those next boxes. And the next one on our flow was upgrade to pro. So have you paid for pro? No. Would you like to upgrade? If it's yes, we go to accounts. So we need to build this module up, upgrade to pro. And again, that's as easy as just adding a new module in. And then we're going to use this as a yes or no question, because we're going to ask them a straightforward yes or no question. Would you like to upgrade to pro? And we need to copy our text in again. So we're going back to what we were doing before, copying that content in. And we'll add the next in there. And maybe a bit of a gap as well. And remember, that's in milliseconds. And we've then got a save. So let's connect the dots. So from paid for pro, we need to upgrade. So we'll just link that through. So if the user's response indicates yes, we're going to take them through to accounts, as we mentioned before. If they say no, they've not paid for pro, then we're going to take them through to, well, would you like to? And then we'll save that. In fact, no, we won't. We'll include the maybe. So if somebody's answered, have you paid for pro? Well, maybe I have. will also take them through to account queries. And there we go. So now you can see, if I get rid of that there, that we're starting to loop back round on ourselves, and that then loops through. So nice and tidy. We've now got a paid for pro, and we've got the copy here. So what we'll do is we'll just build up the remaining modules. So now we've got doesn't want to upgrade, and then we need to build off these last 4 here. So we'll do that quickly. Doesn't want to upgrade first of all. Again, that is just a statement box. So a bot statement. We'll type in doesn't want upgrade. We need to put our text in. Doesn't want to upgrade there. We've put a little delay in there too, look, so we've got the extra chat bubble. So we've got doesn't want upgrade. That spans from the upgrade to pro, but we'll move that, we'll join those dots up shortly. We then need to build into this, the next box, which is taking the person through to be able to upgrade on the website. So this is when they say, yes, I want to upgrade, please. We're going to send them through to the website itself. To do that, we use a Bing web search. Now, it does only work with Bing at this point in time on this platform, I've noticed. But basically, it's just going to give you some links on the page. So it's not a massive problem if you prefer to use Google or any of the other search engines. So what we'll do here is just copy this in. So the website. And we've got some nice copy in there. Please log into your account using one of the links below and then choose to upgrade your account. You'll have full access to all of the course material in no time. Type next to continue. So we'll add that in there. And if we preview this, you'll see that we get the copy. Please log into your account. We've got links here. Now at the moment these links are showing through to Motion AI, so we need to change those. And to do that is quite easy. We go back into the box, we choose settings, and then we scroll down here, and the Bing web search settings we change to the URL that we're wanting to use. And we save that. Now if we reload that, you'll see that it's taken through to our pages. And if we click on those links, it takes them through to that page that we're wanting to take them through to. So absolutely magic. So we're working well so far. Let's just get these last 2 wrapped up. So did I help? If I did, then the issue's solved. And if not, you still have a problem, we'll take you through to contact us. So did I help? So hopefully you'll have realised now that the did I help is going to be a yes or no. Did I help? We need the copy in there again from our... Is this straightforward? Did I solve your problem? Straightforward, yes or no. We then need to add in the issue solved. So again, this is just going to be a statement. So what I'm going to say there is something along the lines of, I'm really glad that we could help. You obviously don't need to use the same language that I've used for these here. Again, it's just the brainstorming that I did before I started. And you'd make it so the language met exactly what your usual tone of voice and that brand guidelines would be. So we've now got that section there. We just need to add in that still have a problem option. And that is just going to be another statement. We'll drop it under there. Still have a problem. We're going to put the text in that we've got. So I'm sorry about that. I'll get a human to look into the problem for you. I'll take you through the short process of submitting a ticket. Save the changes. So we've now got all that joined up. We've got all our boxes in place. All we need to do is just finally join them up. So from upgrade to pro, if they do want to upgrade to pro, so if it's a yes, we're going to take them through to the website, and we just scroll down, and that's that courses one. If they don't, we're going to take them through to doesn't want upgrade. And if it's a maybe, we'll let them make their own mind up, but what we'll do is, for ease of use now, send them through to the course page itself. You may want to take them down a new track to answer any questions they might have. You can see how then the logic's going to build up. You'll need new keywords in, new statements, new questions, and start looping through that way. So as you can see, it's joined those dots up for us. If they don't want to upgrade, we're then going to lead them through to asking them anyway, did I help on this occasion? Or the chatbot is, should I say. So we're going to loop that through to, did I help? And we just scroll down. There we go. And that loops through. Now, it's not in that box there. It just looks as if it is. We then, from the did I help section, because ultimately we need to link through here as well. So once they've signed up, you can see we've got type next to continue. So we'll add a connection here that says next. So if they type next, they'll move on. Maybe continue as well. Maybe move on. You get the idea. Any language they might type in that's going to suggest they want to move further on, we add that in, and then we need to link it through to did I help. So the connections, we've got those in, and did I help? And we've got the join, and last but not least, we've connecting the did I help to, do you still have a problem or did we solve it for you? So if it's a yes, did I help? We go to issue solved. If it's a no, we go to still has a problem. And if it's a maybe, we'll take them through to still has a problem again. You'd probably again want to lead them down a slightly different road there, but for the ease of this, we've now got that. And last but not least, if they've still got a problem, we're going to collect the name, their email address, let them confirm it, send it through to us by email, and then confirm it. So all we need to do is join the collect name to still have a problem. To collect name. And the language we've used in this, you'll see when it pops. Sorry about that, I'll get a human to look into the problem for you. I'll now take you through the short process of submitting a ticket. We don't want their input here because we're going to lead them straight through immediately. So again, we need to go to connections, do that immediately, and save those changes. And we've now, believe it or not, got a fully functional chatbot in place that's based on that chart we have there. Now, that's probably one of the quickest ways we've found to create a chatbot that'll just give you an idea of how things work. You'll have your own reasons for doing them. You may want to potentially just use them for maybe a sales or marketing approach rather than try to cover everything all in one go. But that's kind of how you get those built up quite quickly. Now, one thing I've not mentioned is this last option here. It does mention connections, but you've also got things like fallback options. So if the result or the answer that you're getting doesn't match what you're looking for, so say on the problems that people aren't using can't, doesn't, isn't or couldn't, they're not using these words and you're not using these words, you may want a fallback option, so maybe a help function or take them through to another place. And the fallback just basically says, if none of these conditions are met, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to take them somewhere else, or do you want me to just do nothing? So again, it's worth bearing in mind how it's going to link if it's not working, if you're not getting the answers that you want. But other than that, that is up and it's functioning. And believe it or not, it's already actually live on our Facebook Messenger Facebook page anyway. So you can actually now go on to our Facebook page, choose the send a message option, which is just, if you scroll a little bit down here, and what I'll do is for now, I'll actually take off our first bot that was already working. So I'll just edit that now. And this will explain how you can actually move them around your different Facebook pages as well. So what I can do is here, under Messenger settings, is take off that Facebook page ID and deploy it from the Messenger. And now it'll ask me if I want to put them onto any other pages. For now, I'll just leave it blank. I'll delete that as well. And we've now still got this first bot that we've just created still running live. So if we go onto this section, send a message, you'll see that we've actually got "Hi, how can I help?" and "Get started." And if we click on that, you'll recognize that this is starting to actually communicate with me. Contact an expert, I have a problem. Accounts and billing. So let's choose accounts and billing just to show you that it's working. Oh, I would be happy for you to speak to one of our account managers for your security and data protection. Please answer the next few short questions so our account managers can contact you. And you'll notice that flow there. Please tell me your name. It's exactly the same process that we've just built up there. So as I say, I've got a working chatbot in place. Now, no, it's not going to solve anywhere near every single query that we're going to get on this page. But as I mentioned before, we can start to build its logic from here over the next few weeks to get it to the stage where it's probably going to be able to answer nearly every question it's asked. From first deciding to create a chatbot, to planning the basic logic, and then building the bot, and then creating this process and the script of sorts and list of bullet points to actually present this to you, took me around 2 hours. Now that included learning what each of the modules did down this section here, and how to format those chat bubbles as well, so we can get the multiple chat bubbles, add delays in and that sort of thing. In the scheme of things, that isn't a long time, and with a bit more effort we can actually start to automate a lot of our general queries that we get through our Facebook page using this chatbot. So what kind of benefits do you think you could see from using a chatbot in your marketing, in your sales, or your customer service functions? You can have one that will do them all. You probably won't be able to cover all of them on your first attempt. It would be quite an optimistic and maybe a little bit too optimistic approach. So consider going for one of those functions first, maybe marketing, maybe sales, maybe customer service. Customer service tends to be easier because they generally get the same types of common queries through. It is a very interesting subject to learn about though, and using software like this, it makes it quite a pleasurable thing as well as you start learning how these things work. And to be honest, its uses look unlimited at this stage. So why not give it a go? Share a link to your creations in the comments below for us as well. We'd love to see what you're actually doing with them and how you've implemented this sort of information that I've just shared with you. As you know, we're always open to any questions that you might have or any suggestions for future lab topics as well. So feel free to contact us through our usual social channels or by emailing us at hello@mymarketology.com. And just one last thing, I'd like to thank you for joining me again this week. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you again next week. Bye for now.